Welcome to this series of lecture on engineering economy. So in this lecture we will be discussing about replacement, which is one of the most important topic when decision making is to take place. So in this replacement analysis we will see what replacement is all about, why it is important, whether we should go for replacement or not, and if we are opting for replacement, what should be the proper time for replacement. So I will be covering these three topics in three separate videos. Let us see each video lecture one by one. What replacement analysis is, what are the different steps involved when we are making calculation about replacement, so that we will see in this lecture. Again, we will solve some of the problems to implement what we have discussed.
A very key question which will be answered after going through this replacement analysis is whether it is advisable to continue with any existing equipment or to search for a better version of the same. So that is the key question which will be answered when we are which will be answered once we are over with this replacement analysis. So let's see what this replacement analysis is and how it is being done. So the very first question is why replacement analysis is important. I've already told you that in order to address the question whether a currently owned asset should be kept in service or it is to be replaced with a similar one which is available in the market. So that is the key question which is to be answered. So for this, replacement analysis is required. And the second thing is, when the answer to this question is yes, okay, we require replacement, then at what is the proper time when this replacement is to be made? So that is the second key question which will be addressed once we are familiar with the replacement analysis. Some of the examples, like if we take up like replacing of worn out tires. So the thing is that though the tires are still working but they are worn out, so whether to replace the old worn out tires with a new one, it is feasible at this point of time. So that needs to be answered by looking into the replacement analysis. The thing is that although it incurred some amount of money to replace this worn out tire with a new one, but if we continue with the worn out tires, there might be high probability of punctures, low average, so that all these costs are to be taken care of whenever we are dealing with the replacement analysis. So this is one example. Another example is replacing an old phone with a new one. Although the functions are quite same, but we replace it over a period of time because of the technological factor. Say improved battery life is one of the technological reason by which we are replacing our old phones with a new one, although same functions are also there in the new version. Maybe some functions are bit enhanced, but more or less the functions are same, but we are replacing it because of the technological advancement which are taking place. Similarly, another example of replacement is replacing a petrol car. Although this car is fully functional and is still running, but because of technological advancement, this may be replaced with an electric car. So financial analysis or replacement analysis is to be carried out whether in the present scenario it is advisable to replace the petrol car with an electric car. If so, when it can be done. Similarly, replacing a CRT monitor with an LED monitor, maybe the energy consumption of the CRT monitor is a bit high as compared to LED monitor. The technological aspect is also taken care of. This is an old technology and this is a new technology. So all these decisions one can take if we are familiar with the replacement analysis. Now the thing is that whenever we are doing replacement analysis, though the machine or the asset that is still functional, so how to or what will be the use of that functional asset which is there on the floor. So the thing is, one thing is either we keep it, continue using the same. If replacement is not required, then we are keeping it as it is and continuing it. Second thing is we can abandon it, though it is there on our shop floor, but we are not using it. So the thing is, abandon it, but do not replace. You just keep it, don't sell it in the open market, but stop using it. The third thing is what we can do, we can replace it, but we can keep it for the backup purpose. In many cases, we are doing with our cell phones. We are purchasing a new one, but still we are keeping the old handset, and we are keeping some of the numbers alive by using that particular handset. Then the fourth one, augment the capacity of the asset is required, especially true whenever we are dealing with large LSTK projects. That when the, say if for example a fertilizer product, if the capacity we can always augment the capacity of this particular plant. So in such cases, no replacement is basically feasible. Rather, we can just augment the facility, the capacity of what's required. And the last, that is, we can dispose it off and replace it with a similar one. So that is most of the most of the time we are doing it. We are selling it as a second-hand equipment, and we are replacing it with a new one and selling the old one in a market as a second-hand device or a second-hand equipment. So these are some of the things which we can do with the existing asset. Now, as far as the reason to be considered for replacement, it can be broadly classified into two categories. One is replacement due to deterioration. One thing is that if we are having a worn out, this is because of some worn out wear and tear, like in case of tires, that example we have taken. Apart from this, we may have machinery. So that is, we are replacing it because maybe some parts are worn out, and the tolerances or the geometrical features which we want on that machine, it is not possible to get those features in a worn out machine. So that is one. Then there is physical impairment, like for example an old car. So that is, old car, aesthetically it will not look good. The average might be poor, the engine performance might be very low, the consumption is high. So that is, all these things is basically physical impairment. So that is one thing. Another category to replace is basically related to obsolescence. So the first thing is that is altered requirements. So for example, we need a machine which will have a higher capacity. So that is, the existing machine is say for example is capable of producing just 10 parts in a day, and the new technology, or in a new market environment, we need to produce 50 parts. So that is what we have to do. We have to replace this old machine with a new machine, which is an advanced machine and which is catering the need of 50 parts per day requirement. So that is what we mean by altered requirements. And the second thing is availability of the new and improved technology. As in case of mobile phones, we are replacing them because of the new technology. Similarly, the petrol and diesel cars, they are being replaced by electric cars. That is because of technology. The CRT televisions, they are being replaced by LED television. That is because of improved technology. So these are some of the things which comes under obsolescence. So again, obsolescence is one factor which is to be taken care of whenever we are carrying out replacement studies. Now, before going into the numerical aspect of replacement, let us see some of the key terms or terminology which we may came across in the problems. So first thing is that whenever we are dealing with replacement technology, these two terms, they are most common in the problems, that is the defender and the challenger. So the difference between the two is that defender is any such equipment, any such gadget, any such device that is presently at the shop floor or which is in use at the present point of time. So defender is the present asset which is already in use or it is being housed, or it is being installed. So whatever we are using on our shop floor, that is, or whatever gadget we are using right now, that is termed as a defender. Challenger, alternate assets available to replace the defender. So any gadget functionality is same as that of a defender, or maybe certain improvements are there, or anything which can replace this defender with an identical one, is that kind of gadget will be termed as a challenger. So challenger means available alternate asset to replace this particular defender. So that is the two key terms as far as replacement analysis is concerned. Economic life, the period of time, this we all know, the period of time that yields the minimum equivalent uniform annual cost of owning and operating an asset. So the economic life is the life of that asset that will give you some kind of profit, or at least if it is not giving you any profit, then there will be a situation of break even, no profit, no loss type of situation. So unless the equipment is giving us that added advantage, then that over a period of time, then that period of time is termed as its economic life. Ownership life, the period between acquisition and disposal by a specific owner. So economic life means that the equipment is functional and it is basically yielding or giving a minimum equivalent uniform annual cost, or it is giving us at least that much amount of profit, that much amount of we can say return, where the total cost and the total revenue both are equal, or it is at least operating at break-even point. Ownership life means that once we acquire an asset until it is being disposed of. So that duration of time between acquisition and disposing is basically termed as the ownership life. Physical life, period between original acquisition and final disposal over the entire life of an asset. So physical life, if we just compare the ownership life with the physical life, ownership life is the period between acquisition and disposal by a specific owner. I own it, and over a period of time, because of some wear and tear or technological degradation, I sold this gadget as a second-hand equipment, so that the ownership life is over. But as far as the physical life is concerned, it is the period between original acquisition and the final disposal of the entire life of an asset. That means if that asset is being sold in the market again and again, second time, third time, fourth time, until unless all its physical, it is being discarded as a junk, then that whole time period will be termed as a physical life. So acquisition till it is being discarded, or it is of no use, or it is just a scrap, then that particular time period will be termed as a physical life. Useful life, the time span for which a particular gadget or an equipment is productive. So the thing is, the time period an asset is kept in productive service, primary or as a backup. So that is the useful life. Now, in replacement analysis, there is an outsider's viewpoint. What it means? The outsider's viewpoint is the perspective taken by an impartial third party to establish the fair market value of the defender. So the thing is that whenever we are replacing an asset, generally what we do, we sell the defender in an open market as a second-hand equipment. So what will be the salvage value of the defender? That is being assessed by an impartial third party. So that is what we mean by the outsider's viewpoint. This is also called as the opportunity cost. That means whenever we are selling this used gadget, we are earning some amount of money. So that amount of money is basically nothing but that is what we call as an opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost is the opportunity foregone by deciding to keep an asset. So the thing is, if we are keeping it, so we are basically foregoing this opportunity cost. What we can earn by selling it as a second-hand equipment, that opportunity is being foregone. So that That is basically because of the fact that we are not selling that gadget as a second-hand equipment, and we are not replacing it with the Challenger. So the third thing is that if an upgrade of the Defender is available, so in many cases we are not replacing it, rather say for example, if I take up the case of laptop, so over a period of time we are not replacing it, we are just increasing the RAMs. So the thing is that if an upgrade of the Defender is required to have a competitive service level with the Challenger, so if I am using an i5 and say for example my laptop is not performing well as far as the memory is concerned, what I can do, I can just upgrade the RAM so as to make this Defender comparable with that of a new laptop. So this upgrade, so the cost incurred in this upgrade, it should be added to the present realizable market value. So that is what we mean by the upgrade of the Defender. So if an upgrade of the Defender is required to have a competitive service level with that of the Challenger, this should be added to the present realizable market value. So that means whenever we are say assessing the market value of any Defender, and if we are upgrading it, so that upgradation cost must be added in the market value of that Defender, so as to make it comparable with that of the Challenger. So this is what we mean by the outsider's viewpoint.
So this is all about the theoretical aspect related to replacement. Now we will see how what we have discussed so far can be used in solving some of the problems. So in our next lecture, I will be taking up some problems to give you an insight how this replacement analysis can be implemented in decision making.